Hello, everyone. My name is Ivan Espino, and today I'm going to be presenting two pieces of art. The first one is titled David Slaying Goliath, painted by Peter Paul Rubens in 1616. The second is titled Blind Orion Searching for the Rising Sun, painted shortly after in 1658 by Nicholas Poussin. I will also discuss some similarities and differences and also how each piece comes from mythology and why it's culturally important. So David slaying Goliath. The story of David versus Goliath is a tale as old as time. The original story comes directly from the Bible, where the underdog David defeats the giant Goliath with a single stone before decapitating him with his own sword. Artist Peter Paul Rubens' depiction of these events unfold precisely right before David takes Goliath's head. In the painting, we have David standing over Goliath at the forefront while a massive battle unfolds behind them. We see David in the light as the hero, while Goliath lays on the ground, darkened out a bit as the defeated villain. Also, it seems as though the artist scaled down Goliath's size in order to make David look more heroic. The story is culturally significant in that it teaches us about humility and also to not underestimate your adversaries. From a religious standpoint, in Christianity, the story represented the faith that one must have in God in order to be victorious against overwhelming odds. Blind Orion searching for the rising sun. In Greek mythology, the story of Orion is one of tragedy. In many interpretations, Orion suffers a great deal, from being killed by a scorpion to being shot in the head by his own lover. Then there is a story of how Orion lost his eyesight. Apparently, after a drunken bender, Orion made unwanted advances to Merope, daughter of Queen Onepion. As punishment, King Onepion had Orion blinded. This leads us to Nicholas Poussin's painting, Blind Orion Searching for the Rising Sun. What we are seeing in actuality is the blind giant Orion directed towards the healing rays of the sun by Sedalion. With the help of Sedalion on his shoulders and others on the ground, Orion is guided back to his eyesight. The significance in the story can be interpreted in much the same way as the story of David and Goliath. Orion had to put his faith elsewhere, in this case, on the help of others, in order to achieve the impossible. So some similarities. The two works of art have similar subject matter involved. The two subjects in either painting involve a giant and a regular sized person or people. Even though in David slaying Goliath, Goliath doesn't look that big, but in the mythology, he hulks over David. As mentioned above, both also have similar interpretations. They both elicit the idea of faith in order to overcome certain overwhelming obstacles. Differences. Firstly, the way both are composed is vastly different. In David slaying Goliath, we have the two main subjects at the forefront, taking up almost the entire canvas. However, in Blind Orion, we see the field of view pulled back for a more expansive look at Orion's journey. Both stories involve a giant contrasted with smaller people, but the substance in each could not be more polar opposite. In the first one, we have smaller subject defeating and killing the larger one, while in the second, the small subjects are aiding the larger one and guiding him to a new life.